Hi, I'm Chris Wardlaw, and this is the 2017 Toyota Yaris IA, a tiny and inexpensive little car that will surprise you by just how refined, responsive, and remarkably good it is. Before I explain how that could possibly be, it is important to make a critical distinction between this, the Yaris IA sedan, and a standard Toyota Yaris hatchback. This car was originally a Scion. When Toyota canceled that youth-oriented brand after the 2016 model year, it folded the IA model into the existing Yaris lineup of 3-door and 5-door hatchbacks. While the Yaris hatchbacks offer tempting levels of utility, the Yaris IA sedan is the one you want if you're shopping for a small and affordable Toyota. Heck, unless you're planning to buy the excellent Honda Fit, which is my top recommendation in this segment, the Toyota Yaris IA is the entry-level car to get. Let's go for a drive, and I'll tell you why. When I was in college, I had this crappy 1979 Ford Fiesta, and the thing was breaking down all the time. It was nickel and diming me to death. So one day I go to this brake shop, and I'm told it's gonna cost $500 to replace the braking system. I didn't have $500. So what I did instead was I literally pushed it next door to the Ford dealership. They gave me $300 for the old Fiesta, and then I bought a brand new 1990 Ford Festiva, which also had a $1,000 rebate. So with the $1,300 I had, that was my down payment, and I rolled out of there with a monthly payment of $135. Now granted, the Korean-built Festiva wasn't nearly as much fun to drive as my old German-built Fiesta was, and it wasn't nearly as cool as the much more sophisticated and much more expensive Honda Civics of the day. But it was brand new, it was dead reliable, and I put 120,000 miles on that car over the course of 4 years. The thing broke down only once on a cross-country road trip because the rear wheel bearings needed to be repacked. It was a fantastic little car. Now, the reason I'm telling you this story is because I understand the situation that you're in. If you are shopping for an entry-level, small, subcompact car, I get it. I know you're tired of fixing your old pile of garbage. You just want something that's gonna work every single day of your life and not cost you anything extra but the monthly payment. So, if that is your mindset and the reason you're shopping for a cheap Toyota is because you're feeling that way, I get it. And my advice to you is to forget about the standard Yaris hatchback and get the Yaris IA sedan. And that's because aside from a few Toyota emblems here and there and a questionably styled face, this car represents 100% Mazda goodness. Now I know that statement's a little bit confusing, so let me explain. For several reasons, Mazda no longer sells the Mazda 2 in the United States, and that made it real easy for the company to allow Toyota to badge engineer the car as a simple and easy solution to the stagnant and now dead Scion lineup. If you look past the Yaris IA's funky front end, which appears to be wearing some kind of a vacuum attachment, it is easy to see Mazda's design DNA in this car. It's obvious in the car's profile with its converging side character lines. It's obvious in the appearance of the standard 16-inch aluminum wheels. And it's equally obvious around back, thanks to the elegantly tapering taillights. Inside, the only evidence of Toyota's meddling is the badge affixed to the steering wheel. From the quality of the materials and attention to design detail to the center console controls for the freestanding infotainment screen, the Yaris IA is pure Mazda, which is a very good thing for bargain hunting car buyers. The sheen of the hard plastics, the fabric door panel inserts, the blue exposed stitching and soft touch dashboard trim, the purposeful gauges and switchgear, the way the shifter feels when you choose a gear. This is the stuff of more expensive automobiles and not a car that costs less than $18,000 before you apply any discounts. In fact, in my opinion, the Yaris IA's cabin is nicer than a Corolla's or even an entry-level Camry's. It is not, however, more accommodating of passengers than those larger vehicles. The driver's seat is surprisingly comfortable, thanks in part to a tilt telescopic steering wheel, a manual seat height adjuster, and a generous amount of seat track travel. Front passenger comfort levels are similar, but there is no seat height adjustment for that side of the car. A center armrest isn't standard either, but you can add one as a dealer-installed accessory for just $195. Rear seat comfort is another story. My kids fit fine, but if tall adults are riding up front, another set of tall adults won't be happy in the back. Maybe for a short drive, but no more than that. Pop the trunk and you'll see that the Yaris IA offers 13.5 cubic feet of trunk space. That's almost as much as a mid-size car. A 60/40 split folding rear seat increases utility, and if you're willing to wrestle with your luggage, you can carry full-size suitcases on their sides. As far as the controls are concerned, this is a simple car except for its Mazda-sourced infotainment system. It takes a while to get the hang of this setup, and it isn't nearly as easy to use as a typical Toyota Entune system. Plus, you can't get satellite radio service for this car, and Toyota doesn't offer Apple CarPlay or Android Auto due to privacy concerns. That leaves Bluetooth streaming or the USB connections for playing something other than old-school local radio. Toyota does include both a reversing camera and a low-speed automatic emergency braking system as standard equipment. These features add a layer of preventative safety to the Yaris IA, which supplies impressive crash protection in the form of a 5-star rating from the federal government and a top safety pick rating from the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety. Considering that this car weighs just 2,400 pounds, depending on your transmission choice, those ratings are especially important. Speaking of transmissions, the standard 6-speed manual gearbox and the optional 6-speed automatic transmission are bolted to a smooth revving 1.5-liter 4-cylinder engine. Row the gears yourself and you can expect to get 34 miles per gallon in combined driving. Choose the automatic and the car should return 35 miles per gallon. My test car has the optional automatic and it returned 33.6 miles per gallon on my test loop, but I did drive the car a lot harder than you probably will. Though the engine makes just 106 horsepower and 103 pound-feet of torque, the Yaris IA only feels underpowered when you're trying to quickly accelerate up to freeway speed or when you're trying to pass slower traffic. Even at higher revs though, the motor is smooth and refined. Around town, the transmission sport mode helps the Yaris IA to feel more responsive and lively. This mode eliminates the car's tendency to upshift into second gear sooner than you might like, but at the same time it also holds revs higher in remaining gears. Alternatively, you can manually shift the transmission to take full control of gear changes. Where Mazda's engineering brilliance shines brightest is with regard to this car's ride and handling qualities. The underpinnings are simple. McPherson struts up front, a torsion beam rear axle, front disc and rear drum brakes, and electric assisted steering. But Mazda tunes these basic components to deliver engaging driving dynamics. The ride is almost supple, the handling is light and lively. The car is tossable in turns and solidly secure at speed. If there's anything to complain about, it's that the 185 60R16 tires run out of talent pretty early in the game. Overall though, this is an unexpectedly enjoyable car to drive, offering proof that it is often more fun to drive a slow car fast than it is to drive a fast car slow. Remember how I told you that this car is priced not even $18,000 the way you see it here? Well, you're not going to pay anywhere near that. Heading into the summer of 2017, Toyota is offering a $2,000 rebate on this car, or no interest financing for 72 months, or cheap lease deals that result in a monthly payment that isn't much higher than the one I made on my 1990 Festiva when it was new. Now, when you add Toyota's offer of free scheduled maintenance for 2 years of 25,000 miles, the Yaris IA shapes up to be a raging bargain. Best of all, this car is more than just a great deal. In my opinion, it's the best subcompact sedan you can buy. I'd still recommend the more functional Honda Fit over this, but if you don't want that incredibly practical vehicle, then this Toyota is what you ought to get. Be sure to check out my full review of the Toyota Yaris IA on CarGurus.com, and if you found this review helpful, please share this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. For all of us at CarGurus, thank you for watching.